Welcome back. You're tuning into Financial Fitness Northwest live on 1150 KKNW. We provide our listeners with information from business professionals to bring solutions to your daily life and local charities to provide you with opportunities to give back to your community as well. And now in studio, we have Shaunna Ballas. Shaunna has vast experience in the private, public, and nonprofit sectors as a small business owner, school director, and fundraising professional. All of her experience has been focused on building and maintaining strong and effective relationships and creating opportunities to alleviate the lives of others. Elevate the lives of others. Shaunna has been at WWIN since October 2012. Shaunna lives in Snohomish with her husband and 4 children. She enjoys cooking, gardening, working with children, and expressing herself creatively through painting, clay, and mosaic. And also with our show today, we didn't previously introduce, but we're excited to welcome Tiffany Ruiz with WWIN. She's a WWIN grant recipient, and Tiffany is 25 years old. She recently graduated from Lake Washington Technical College with a degree in nursing, and her passion lies in pediatric nursing, and will be starting her first job as an RN at the end of the month. That's very exciting. She has a 4-year-old daughter named Savannah, and together they enjoy exploring the outdoors and going to the beach. She became a WWIN recipient during her first year of nursing school, and she's very proud to be part of the amazing program. So welcome, ladies.
Wow, welcome, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
So can you tell us a little bit about what the mission for Washington Women in Need is, just about the program?
Yeah, so Washington Women in Need was created to improve the lives of low-income women through healthcare and education grants. And we focus our attention to lifting a woman up, rather than giving her a handout. So when Washington Women in Need was created back in 1992, that was the mission. It continues to be the mission today. We keep it very simple and clear, so we know exactly who we're serving, and our donors know who we're serving, and it's been excellent. Yeah.
When you say lifting up, so how do you guys do that, lifting them up rather than just giving them a handout? What does the program entail?
Well, the women who come to Washington Women in Need are ready for transformational change. They've already done the hard work. They're enrolled in a school, right? They are doing what they can to get themselves out of the situations that they're in. And that can be anywhere from being in poverty to escaping domestic violence. They have overcome drug addiction, many, many different kinds of things. But they are ready to change their lives. They are already doing the hard work, right? And they don't need somebody just to give them a hand out. They just need someone to give them a hand up.
Right.
So they can take the next step.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. So you have been around for 25 years?
25 years this year. We're so excited.
That's amazing. How I mean, a lot of charities don't exist, at least in the same capacity, maybe evolve or change, but you guys have been doing this for a long time.
Long time. There's multiple reasons for that. I would say, unfortunately, the need is there, right? And the need is great, and it continues to be there. Gratefully, we're able to continue to support that. But really, the excellent stewardship by our board, that board management, the management within the organization itself is really, really strong and has kept us just always in a space of good financial soundness. And then also our donor base is very loyal, fantastic donors that we have at WWIN. Many of them from 25 years, 20 years, 15 years. I mean, really long time.
Wow.
So we have a lot of longevity within that space too.
Wow, that's great.
So the original founders, are they still involved then? Or?
So Julia Lovepritt, who was the founder, passed away in 2010 from breast cancer complications. But her son, Darren Pritt, and his wife, Janine Pritt, are still in charge of the foundation. So they are a major contributor to the organization. They are responsible for paying for nearly all of our operational costs. So then when a donor makes a contribution, a good proportion of what they're providing goes directly to the women that we're serving.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's really outstanding. They're wonderful partners and very much involved with the organization.
Wow. So what do you think has really kept you guys relevant, for this period of time? 25 years is a long time. So what keeps you guys relevant in today?
Well, unfortunately, poverty still exists.
Yeah.
did in 1992, and it still exists today, and sometimes even in a greater regard. Women are still, disempowered, in their relationships and sometimes with abuse. And so unfortunately, that problem still exists, and for Washington Women in Need, at one point we had about 80% of the funding was going towards, or 60 to 80% was going towards healthcare, and the balance would go towards education. And now we're able to flip the tides because of the current healthcare. We'll say for how long, who knows, but currently we're able to really shift our direction to provide more education grants, which really are super empowering. I mean, they are what really help women get to that next level.
And so what area of women do you guys serve?
All Washington State.
All Washington State.
All Washington State. The greatest proportion, obviously, is within the King County, Puget Sound region. But we have many, many grantees from Eastern Washington, Central Washington areas.
Okay. Mm-hmm. How do they find you?
That's what I was going to say. How do
Yeah.
they find you? I mean, what's the entry to you, or how do they? What type of people are looking for you? All types, or?
Yeah. In fact, I'm going to let Tiffany answer that question
Yeah.
because she's really close to that. So I'd love to have her interject on that part of it.
Yeah, so I actually found out about WWIN through a counselor that I had at school, an advisor, and she told me about it, and she's like, I think you'd be perfect for it. And so I just went on the website, which is wwwin.org, and just answered a series of short essay questions and submitted some documents, and I received a call. I think it was a couple weeks later I received a phone call, and they told me, we love you, we want you to be a part of this scholarship foundation, and we want to help you achieve your goals. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
That sounds like that was a great day.
Oh, yeah. I was so excited. I couldn't believe what was happening.
Wow. And so you were already in school then?
Yeah, I was actually already in my first year of nursing school when I received the grant.
Oh, wow. And so did the grant help you pay for the rest of your schooling then?
Yeah, it did. So I also have a 4-year-old daughter. So the grant helped me pay for tuition so that, I could use any extra financial aid money or money from my job to pay for my daughter's childcare, which I find it completely crazy. But 1 month for her daycare tuition was basically the same as I paid for 1 quarter of nursing school. So that WWIN grant really helped me.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, trying to go to school and raise a child and cover all that expense
And work.
and work. Yeah,
Wow. It's incredible.
it
She's
is.
a rock star.
It sounds like it. It
Thank
sounds
you.
like it. So, what are some examples of challenges that women who apply have?
Well, we see them, many of them, again, are either sexually abused, domestic violence. They are dealing with addiction and have passed that. We have women who have been incarcerated and who have gotten out of prison. Very few population of that, but we do have some of those. Just women who have come from extreme circumstances with poverty and are just, I would say, climbing that ladder, out of that hole. Mm-hmm. And, we all know how that can look, right? It can be climb a couple rungs, boom, 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 you get put back down, right? And you got a couple more. And so WWIN has really been a lifeline to a number of these women because it's funding that they can count on. In Tiffanys' case, she's a STAR scholar, so she was guaranteed funding for a few years where she didn't have to reapply. And that doesn't happen for all the women that we serve, but they are guaranteed for that year, right? So that's a big, huge relief for them. That's one less ladder rung that they have to climb up when they are getting out of that space and into their next venture in life and to expand their path and the path of their families. It's very exciting work.
Kind of what I hear you saying then is there are some benchmarks. So when you get the grant, is it typically for a year and they have to be performing at a certain level with their education in order to continue to be funded?
Yeah, absolutely. So they check in with us quarterly with their grades, let us know how they're doing. We have a program manager, Vinny. She is fantastic with our grantees. We really, I would say, develop really strong relationships with our grantees. They become part of a sisterhood within the organization. And we have an alumni site for them, so they stay in connection with each other. So it's just, a very embracing process. It's not simply, here's your money, and we actually go to the university or institution and give them the funding directly. So instead of just saying we've given it to them, bye-bye, have a good life,
Right.
we want to stay involved. We want to see how they're doing. We want to see them succeed. And we love hearing how they're doing after their grants and after they've graduated. And, it's excellent to see that.
The start of a long-term relationship, I'm sure, right?
Absolutely.
And it probably helps breed more success too, because you're not just giving them the money, but you're following up with them. They're held accountable, right?
They
to
are
get
held
more
accountable.
funding. So they, success rate's probably higher because of that.
Yeah. We have I think it's around 80% of the women that receive a WIN grant are employed when they graduate from college. So
Oh, wow.
it's pretty fantastic. Nearly 100% of our grantees graduate from college. So, occasionally you'll have somebody who gets sick or an extenuating circumstance comes up where they're not able to do it. Though I would say the greater percentage, when they come to WIN, they are ready, they are committed, they're determined, they're so courageous, and they just make it happen.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what makes them, what are qualifying factors for these women to be able to be eligible for the grants?
So they have to be at 148% of the federal poverty line. So there's financial benchmarks that they have to have. They have to show us that they have already been admitted to a college. So it's not, here's your money. Now go find out where you're going to go to school. They have to already be in that process.
Okay.
They also have to be show us that they have clear goals, right? So they have essay questions. Tiffany mentioned that. They have essay questions. Shows that they have clear goals. They have a path to get there. They keep in touch with us. They have grade point averages that they have to meet. So those are the primary benchmarks, I would say.
And you said that Tiffany was an A. She didn't have to reapply.
No.
So why is that? Why are you so special?
Because she scored so high.
Scored so high. That's awesome.
Yeah, well, we have a grant review process that we do twice a year, and a spring one and a fall one. And when we do that process, there is a list of essay questions that they have to answer. And what's fantastic is many of our donors help us with this grant review process.
Oh, that's great.
So up to 5, it's usually 5 or more, people will review the same grant application, so we can kind of, take out those that kind of might be real low or those might be real high and come up with an average. And so Tiffany was one of those ones that was right up at the, 5-star level with everybody. So, so she received the opportunity to receive a grant for successive years. And that particular grant is available to women for up to 4 years of their college experience. And so they can receive up to $20,000 in education grants.
Wow.
So how many women are you serving currently?
Currently we have over, I think it's around 250 women that we serve. That's within a cycle, right? So we could have a group of STAR scholars and have 20 of them, and then we could have a new cohort of WIN grantees that can come in, and we might have anywhere between 50 to 60 in a year's time frame. So they're in that gap. Then we also have our healthcare grantees that cycle through on a monthly basis, right? So it kind of fluctuates a little bit, but it's around 250.
Okay. And so with the healthcare, let's talk a little bit about that. What kind of healthcare are you providing, support are you providing for people?
So for healthcare grants, thankfully, we're very, very fortunate at this point with the Affordable Care Act. Many of the women that used to have to come in for healthcare grants, be that for mental health counseling, be that for hearing, vision, dental work, they were able to then already have health care, so they don't have to come to us for a grant anymore. Now we're a little bit in the air as far as what that could mean. So what that did is provided us with the opportunity to give more education grants versus healthcare grants. Currently, we still give about, I'd say it's less than 20% of our funding goes to healthcare. Those would be for dental. So a woman can get her teeth pulled, but she can't get a replacement tooth. So we would help her with that. Or she can go get a vision exam, but, it doesn't cover her hardware. So we will help support the cost for her, hardware. Mental health counseling is probably one of our largest ones that we do, dental and mental health. Because there's certain mental health care that's just not covered by the Affordable Care Act. So,
wow.
Yeah.
So how can members of the community get involved if they want to help? How can they help?
Oh, there's lots of great ways. So we have our luncheon, which is in March. It's our annual spring benefit luncheon. This year was fantastic. It was our 25th anniversary luncheon, and we had 1,000 people in the room.
That's
It was
great.
super exciting. It was great. Tiffany, you were there, I think, weren't you?
I was there last year.
Yeah, last year. It's a really great event, and that's a big celebration time. It's educational as well as a fundraiser. Then we have a Sip for Stars event in the fall, which is a more small group of donors that come together. It's more of our major donors, is what we would call them, our VIPs, and they come to that. So also we have our annual appeal. There's Give Big. There's multiple ways that you can contribute. Just go into our website at win.org and you can make a donation directly online. And then also we have corporate sponsors, which we love. This year, Washington Federal was one of our premier sponsors. In fact, our number one 25th anniversary premier sponsor. So we rely heavily on corporate support and community organization support. We don't receive any public funding either, only private funding.
Oh, wow.
Wow. That's crazy. So, Tiffany, do you want to share anything with us about your story or your experience in working with WWIN?
Yeah, so like I said, I got chosen to receive a grant my first year of nursing school. So I started working closely with them and volunteering at events and, getting to know the staff. And I've had such a good experience with them. I think you were mentioning, Shaunna was mentioning earlier, how they don't just, give you the money. They really give you a hand up and they want you to succeed. And, you can tell when you talk to them, they ask you how you're doing, what your goals are. I've had the privilege of visiting the office and writing thank you cards to the donors and, just sitting with them and, you can tell by looking at their face how excited they are for you, where you're going. And, it's the support that you receive is just, it's incredible. And, the financial aspect of it is obviously very helpful. It's nice when you're going through school, not having to worry about, how you're going to pay for your next quarter of college. So that's really helpful. But the support they provide is, it's incredible. But yeah, I'm so thankful for everything they've done for me.
Wow. So you're going to be, when do you graduate?
I graduated in March.
Oh, in March. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have a nursing job already?
Yeah. So I graduated in March and I took my board exam, the NCLEX, in April. So now I have my job. It's going to be a home health agency working with pediatric patients. And I'm going to start at the end of this month. So yeah, I'm so excited to start working.
That's so exciting.
That is. Do you feel like you would have been able to accomplish this goal without the WWIN support?
I don't think so. It's possible, there's a lot of scholarships out there, but I don't think that any of them would have compared to Washington Women in Need. Like I said, just the support they provide and just, you can tell that they have your best interest at heart. So, maybe it's possible, but I don't think it would have been as great of an experience as it was with WWIN.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. Well, thank you both so much for being on the show and letting us know more about WWIN. It sounds like such a great organization.
Yes, we're so glad you guys came on the air with us.
That was a pleasure, and thanks for having us.
Thanks for having
really
us.
Fun.
Well, thanks for tuning in to Financial Fitness Northwest. When we come back from the break, we will have part 2 of the nuts and bolts of the home buying process. To find out about any topics discussed today on today's show, you can visit us online at www.financialfitnessnw.com.